Hey, thanks for watching this video of my attempt to fly my DJI Mavic Air 2 out to these offshore oil rigs off the coast of California. They don't look like they're too far away. I was thinking maybe about 4 miles, but they're actually further than they look. So here I was trying to decide which ones were closest, the ones on the left or right, and it was pretty obvious halfway there that it was the ones on the left. It's a beautiful day. The conditions were perfect for doing this kind of a flight. There was no wind at all. But then, when I got out there, it was pretty obvious I wasn't going to make it. The drone was prompting me to return to home, and so I basically did that. And when I turned around, the thing that struck me was just how far away the coastline was. But I was able to navigate back, and I kept thinking, like, I've got to get to a starting point that's closer to the rigs if I'm going to get there. So that's what I was thinking as I landed. I was going to drive about 10 miles south and find another spot to launch from. And so this place just east of Rincon Bluffs, which are right below there in the foreground, it's about 10 miles south of where I was on my first attempt. And yes, your starting point is a bit closer. And as I was moving out there, it looked like I was going to be able to get pretty close. But then again, the drone prompted me to turn around and come back. And, unlike mistakes I've made in the past where I've really pushed the battery to, depletion levels where it starts to kind of come out of the sky, I brought it back when I was prompted to. And so I didn't, obviously get there. So I was pretty excited. I had one more battery left in my pocket. I moved a little closer, like I walked out into the bluffs as I was landing on my second attempt. So for my third attempt, I was going to start right here a little bit closer, like 100 yards closer. And but when I put the battery in here and relaunched, the battery only had 96% in it. And so I just said, let's just get out there and go. And actually, my second attempt was actually the closest approach. I'm not sure why. The battery was at 97 for the second attempt, so I just had just 1% less for the third attempt, but I wasn't able to go out as far. Again, I wasn't going to push it here, especially if I'm landing on the bluffs, because I didn't really have any margin for error if I had to ditch it. So this is as close as I got. It was pretty cool. Even though the conditions were perfect, I don't think I'm ever going to get a better day to get out there and do like a range test video like this. But it was still, pretty fun to get out there and attempt to do these things. There's some really cool places in California to fly and get footage. And I try to find these places and put them on my channel. So appreciate you checking out my 3 failed attempts to get to the oil rigs.